Hey guys, welcome back and thank you so much for watching. So as you can probably already tell from the title, we are going to be doing the ranking my eyeshadow palettes video. So I'm so excited to share with you all of my eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection and basically just sharing the ones that I like least favorite to my most favorite. And if you haven't seen the other videos in this series, I will link the playlist because I have done ranking my blushes and also ranking my bronzers. So it's just a good way to kind of get an idea, like to see all of the products in my collection for that category and like my thoughts on that. And yeah, it's just a good way to see part of my makeup collection. And if there's any other categories that you might think is interesting to see for like a ranking video, let me know and I will totally do that because these videos are really, although they're hard to do, because it's hard to like pick your favorites, they're really fun to do. So let me know any other categories and I can certainly do those for you. Okay, so first things first, I want to show you this. These are my Z palettes of my single eyeshadows. So inside of here I have all of my single eyeshadows, my MAC, Anastasia singles, Makeup Geek, Sydney Grace, what other ones? I think that's about it. And these are my favorite. These are my all-time favorite because they're custom and I picked them myself. So, but they're not like actual pre-made palettes. But I just wanted to like mention that because these are actually my favorite, and what I reach for most for eyeshadows, what I'm trying to say is the pre-made eyeshadows that are on my eyeshadow list, I don't reach for the most because, and I don't have that many. I only have 6 to share with you because I like what I like. I like to pick my favorites and put them together, curate them in my own palettes. And I love these little Z palettes that are about that size. They do fit 9 standard eyeshadow pans. And so I just have like, I think these are all MAC eyeshadows, or they're a mixture of those brands that I just named off. And by the way, this acrylic organizer is from By Augury. You can get them on Amazon and I can link it below. It's very handy. Okay, so I lied. I have 7 eyeshadow palettes. Last week I had 8 eyeshadow palettes, but since I moved I did declutter one, and the one I decluttered was the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I'll put a picture here of it, like her original palette. I really love that palette and I kept it for so long. I got it when it first came out. I love it. It was just too big, storage issues, and half of the shades were just too bright and bold of colors that I just don't use. You will see that I just do neutral colors mostly. I don't really have any bold colors in my collection because I just don't wear them. So anyway, and then this palette I just got and I'm wearing it for the first time today, so it's not on the list because when I made the list a couple weeks ago, at that time I did not own this palette, so it's not on the list and it's not fair to include it because I haven't really tested it out enough to include it. But it is the BK Beauty True Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I might as well show it to you. It is quite beautiful. It comes with this beautiful mirror and this very sturdy, it is like a sturdy cardboard packaging. And so it is neutral with 1 pop of a purple color. And I do have that purple color in the crease, very soft and subtle, and that's what I love. So if I had to, this would probably be in the top 4 of my favorites. But it's not on there. It's not on the list, okay? Okay. The bottom of the list, my least favorite eyeshadow palette, although you guys know if you watched any of my videos, I have a very streamlined, curated makeup collection these days. And so everything that I own, I do actually really love and try to use a lot. So I actually really love all of these. This is just if I had to choose in order how I would choose it. So it's hard to say like this is my least favorite, but this is at the bottom of the list. So this is the Sydney Grace Enduring Love palette. I will say though, I love it enough that I keep it around in my very streamlined collection. So this is, and by the way, I think this one has new packaging now. And the only reason this is at the bottom of my list, I would say, is just because it's more of a cool tone palette, as you can see. And I just gravitate more towards neutral or more warm tones. So this is more of a neutral or a cool tone palette. It is very versatile though. You can get, you know, everyday looks out of it. Or as you can see, you can kick it up a notch and go a little bit bold with a pop of color for a nighttime look. They do have this in a deeper shade. Like this is the light version. They have it in a deeper tone for deeper, medium to deep skin. So I think that's really neat how they do for light skin tone palettes and then a medium to deep skin tone palette. I just think it's so amazing that they offer the options so you can really get more of a customized, you know, vibe depending on your skin tone. I need to use this more. It's just so beautiful. And the names, it's called the Enduring Love palette. The names are based off of some of the greatest love stories of all time, which is so romantic. I love the large mirror, and I think I mentioned, I'm not sure, but I think they did update the packaging on this, so I'm not sure if it still comes in this tin. So yeah, there's that. And Sydney Grace eyeshadows are amazing. This one retails for $52, and you do get all of the 25 shades. So just kidding, it's only 15 if I can count properly. But they are very large and you would probably never run out of them. And then next up is number 5. Coming in at number 5 on my list is also by Sydney Grace, and this is the Tiny Marvels palette, which just get a look at that gorgeous artwork. This is their collaboration with Mel Thompson, who is also a YouTuber, and here is what it looks like. This one is the hard cardboard packaging, like the sturdy cardboard with the large mirror. And the colors, you know, I was just talking about how I don't wear pops of color. I don't wear color, I wear neutral colors. But there's just so many beautiful colors, wearable colors in here that I still can wear, that it's just worth keeping for me at this point. So I just love it. Very beautiful, and I mean, it's just a beautiful palette to look at. So this one also retails for $52. And yeah, it's great to support other YouTubers. Sydney Grace has always been so kind and generous to me, and I just absolutely love them as a brand. And I think they're super underrated, and I hope that they continue to grow and get the love that they deserve. So shout out to Sydney Grace, you guys are amazing. And then next at number 4 is my Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. So there is the packaging. It's kind of squishy and like fabric-y. I actually like the packaging. And mine looks like that. It's a little bit beat up because one of my daughters got a hold of it, but I did rescue it just in time. It looked a lot worse when before I cleaned it up, but it is just a neutral palette, as you can tell. And I love that this one has so many different finishes in there. It has mattes, metallics, iridescents, and micro shimmers. And this one does retail for $44. I love that it's just slim, it's easy to use, and there's enough. Some palettes that have too many dark shades, I just don't reach for the dark shades. I love that they have enough lid shades that you can mix it up, enough crease colors. What's really important for me in a palette, since I am very fair skinned, is like this bribe color. It's light enough to actually show up on my skin and to use as like an inner corner highlight or a brow bone highlight. So I appreciate that, and I just enjoy this palette quite a bit. And then number 3 on my list is also by Sydney Grace, and you guys can tell that I obviously love Sydney Grace eyeshadows because I used to own a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I have decluttered a lot over the years, and obviously I still keep Sydney Grace eyeshadows around, or her palettes. Their palettes, I keep them around because I love them so much. This is the Summer Days palette. That's the beautiful sparkly packaging. I just keep it in the sleeve, and then it comes in a hard cardboard. And I did have to repress a couple of them because they are very soft, like pressed pigments almost, but it was very easy to repress. I could probably clean it up a little bit better, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Very neutral. I love those pressed pigments on the lid. They're just beautiful and just gorgeous. I love how it has like the brown mattes in there, metallic pigments, and it's just a perfect like everyday palette. I do wish it had a lighter shade, like I just talked about with the Urban Decay. I wish it had a lighter like brow bone or inner corner highlight shade that I could use on my fair skin, but it's a great companion palette, or I can just add on like another single eyeshadow. It's not a big deal. It's definitely worth it. And just like their Enduring Love palette that I already talked about, this one comes in light or deep options. So I love that about them. So this one sells for $33 for all 9 pans. And if you do hit pan on the pans, you can actually pop them out and replace it. Buy the single separately and just replace it. So that's a great option as well. All right, so we're up at the top 2. Coming in at number 2 is the Anastasia Soft Glam Palette. This one was hard to decide. I mean, I had this at number 1 for a while, and then I decided that it was number 2. It was my second favorite palette, but I love it so much. There's what it looks like with the mirror. And then the Anastasia palettes do come with a brush, but I have no idea where that brush is. I couldn't tell you. I love that it has the assortment of finishes. It has mattes, duochromes, metallic finishes. It has the deep dark shades, which you can use as a powder eyeshadow, or excuse me, a powder liner, which I definitely do that a lot. Well, not really, I guess not recently since I've been wearing my eyelash extensions, but when I don't wear my eyelash extensions, I love wearing powder eyeshadows, and that's why I love this kind of a palette, because you don't have to reach for a separate one. It has the light shade that I've talked about, and it has enough lid colors that is a variety. I like a medium, a light to mid-tone, like a sparkly or a shimmer, something with a sheen on it for a lid color, and then enough crease colors. I mean, that's what I look for in a palette. I think I already like talked about that a little bit. And it has like the perfect crease colors. It does lean more warm tone, but it does have this dusty rose, so you could, you know, bring it in a little bit neutral cool if you wanted to. So I just love it. It is like a felt. If you are not familiar with this, it's like a felt, very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's just very soft and kind of luxurious feeling. So I love that. Her palettes like this size do retail for $44. I did see that they're selling the Soft Glam mini palettes that retail for $29. So definitely check those out. And if you don't want to buy like the whole one, but I love it, so I would recommend it. Especially if you need a makeup brush, because it comes with a brush. So I think it's a really great value for all the shades you get. The formula is great, easy to work with. I mean, the formula on all the products, all the eyeshadow palettes that I'm talking about, in my opinion, are easy to work with. The Anastasia eyeshadows are very soft, so they can kick up some products. They can kick up some powder. So you just keep that in mind, but it's not a deal breaker at all. So coming in at number 1, my favorite eyeshadow palette that I own is this one right here. And I'm so sad to tell you that you cannot get this one anymore. It's limited edition. The Sultry palette by Anastasia, which is so glittery and beautiful and sparkly, and just look at this palette. So this one and the Soft Glam, I could not decide which one was my absolute number 1 favorite. So it was a toss-up. I love them both so much. Just the colors on them, the mixture of the finishes of the shades, like the mattes, the metallics, you know, the sheens, the shimmers, the mattes, I already said that. And this one I just love. It is more of a neutral. It has a few cool shades, so you could go cool if you wanted to. And even though I said that I do prefer more of a warm shade, more warm tones, if you do use this and you go neutral with it, it always turns out so beautiful. I just think this is such a beautiful, even like a holiday palette, if you're going to be putting together any holiday looks. I don't know if I saw on Trend Mood that maybe they were bringing this back, like in the vault or something. Maybe it will become available. I don't know, but if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. This one also retails for $45, and it does come with that brush, which again, I don't know where mine is. It is a double-ended brush, I'm pretty sure. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like because I can't remember. I always lose those brushes. So this is my #1 favorite, and I kind of wish I was wearing it today for the video, but I had to use my new one that I got, the BK Beauty one, because I couldn't wait to try this one. So those are my eyeshadow palettes, like my pre-made palettes. And also, of course, I showed you my custom palettes and the Z palettes, but some other custom palettes that I made that I want to just shout out because I absolutely love them are my Bobbi Brown palettes. So these are all single eyeshadows by Bobbi Brown that you can get, and then you can, let me try to do it without breaking it, pop them out. And then it comes in this 6-pan, or I think it comes in a quad 4-pan, or you can just buy like the single eyeshadows that comes in like one little single compact. Bobbi Brown eyeshadows are some of the best eyeshadows out there. They are expensive, but you get so much product and they're so beautiful, natural, enhancing. They're never gonna look overdone. So if you are maybe new to makeup or more mature skin and you just don't want to look overdone, or you're scared you're gonna look like clown-like, I mean, you just can't go wrong with Bobbi Brown. You really can't. I recently did a video where I used some Bobbi Brown eyeshadow, so I can link that up in the eye for you and you can check it out. But this is like my pinky purple. I just love Bobbi Brown, so good. All right guys, so that is the video and that's everything I have to share with you for today. Let me know, like I said in the beginning, if there's any other categories that you would like me to do rankings on, and I can certainly do that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.